essence. If you have something that already works for you, good, then you keep doing that. At the same time, you be flexible, because that might change in the future. You might be more the Advaita type right now, where something just recognizes, say, okay, yeah, this, I can see that there's this formless consciousness that I am, and that it's somehow housed in these three layers of bodies that I'm wearing: mind, emotions, physical body. But I see that there's just this presence, you can call it that. And so, yeah, I just keep putting my attention on that. That's cool. Do that. Later, you might feel also to pray. Don't get too rigid or stuck on anything. That includes religions, spiritual practices, what have you. You be open to how, this is the how, to how the universe is guiding you to connect with it, because it's super personal and individual. So how do you do that? If you already have a practice that works, you keep doing it and going deeper into it. Watch less videos on YouTube and do more of the practice. I've said before, it's good to find one person, two at the most, and instead of just scrolling and just listening and just more, because the mind gets addicted to all this so-called knowledge, information. It's like you stuff your mouth full of a big plate of food, but you can't swallow it. You can't assimilate it. You just keep, what's more? What's the next technique? It's like, man, if you find somebody you connect with that you feel is satisfying you, just listen to them. It's like if you have a good spouse, are you going to keep shopping for another spouse? Well, I don't know. Maybe this spouse won't work out. I got to see what's available. Or you get a nice car. Are you going to keep going around the car lots looking at cars? No, you're satisfied. So be careful. I'm making a video about that, I think. Don't be a spiritual junkie. You don't keep just trying to get more. You take what you're learning, what you're hearing, and then you sit and you assimilate that. You apply that to your life. And you sit with it. You contemplate it, and then you let downloads come. This is what you do. So, if you're not sure how to connect with the source, you sit somewhere quiet, sense deprivation, you don't want a bunch of noise. You just sit somewhere quiet, go walk in the woods, or in your room, or sit in the closet. Just sit somewhere quiet. And you be willing and open to how the universe wants to speak to you and through you to tell you how to connect with it. This is how you get the data, the download on how to keep your attention on God. God has to tell you how to keep your attention on him. It, her. Oh man, there's a spider web. All right. Sorry. So you have to you have to be willing and quiet and patient. You gotta be patient. Can't just sit, okay, I'm sitting for 5 minutes. God, show me how to connect with you. It didn't work. Oh, I'm gonna go back to YouTube. Gotta find some technique. You can't do that. You gotta go through the process of being willing and open to connect with God. That's only gonna come if you genuinely have a desire to connect with God. I like what Yogananda said. He's like one of my favorite teachers. He said, be like the crying baby when the mom keeps giving the baby a bunch of toys to play with, and the baby keeps throwing them out. Like, I don't want that. I want you, Mom. So you have to be like that. When something inside you, because you can't fake this to the universe. It knows your motives and your subconscious agenda, everything. When your desire to connect with the source is authentic, then the source might break off a little some tidbits of downloads to you so that to show you how to connect with it. And then you have to listen to that. This is the answer on how do I connect, or how do I put my attention on the source or God. You ask how to do it, and then you follow the directions that you get. But you have to discern the difference between when you're getting an authentic spiritual download versus when the mind is telling you how to connect. If you don't know how to do that, again, you ask, God, show me give me because some people ask, like, what's intuition mean? The mind's asking what intuition means. You can't answer the mind. There's no answer to tell you what intuition, the mind, like, how are you going to answer that? It's like also when people say, prove to me when you die that you continue. It's impossible. You can't. How are you going to prove that? These revelations, they come. They come when they come. Be open to it and they'll come. So you be willing to connect to this power, and then that's it. That's it. Patience is huge here. That's actually what the real definition of dark night of the soul is, that a being feels deeply connected with the source, but then all of a sudden he seems to lose it. It's like, whoa, what happened? That happened to Jesus. And Jesus said, God, why did you forsake me? You see? It's like, well, I was in this nice, felt like I was in this nice spiritual cocoon with the source, and then all of a sudden it left. Well, yeah, understandable. Look at his situation. That's what I'm saying. Nobody's above, there's a roadblock. So I'm going to make a U-turn. There's nobody above being challenged on a human level. I don't care who it is or who, no. The mind likes to reminisce about beings who like aren't here anymore and just have books, because then the mind can assign all kinds of magical qualities to this. Oh man, he could just do anything, never affected by anything. Yeah, it's just not like that. If they were here right now, and if you spent time with them, you'd see their human nature also. But the dark night of the soul is like that. It's teaching patience on the deepest level. So patience is a big deal. Something has to keep faith. Even though you're being open and you're surrendering as best as you can, and you want the download and how to connect with the source, but you don't seem to be getting it, you have faith that's going to be revealed to you, because it will. The masters always say that, but that's hard to believe when the mind's telling you the opposite, when your emotions are not feeling connected. So then the mind and the emotions, they double team you. Man, this ain't gonna work for me. Works for other people, but not for me. Like, it never's gonna work. And then you believe that. So don't do the best you can to not believe that. Sometimes you're gonna believe it. Remember, I'm a big proponent of holding space for yourself. Now, those that have watched my videos know I don't discount the practical human level. That's why I made that other channel, or a couple channels. The Beyond the Alchemy, I talk about semen retention, preserving your sexual energy, and also transcending shadows. It deals with your lifestyle habits. You need healthy lifestyle habits, because that helps balance your life force and gives you life force. If you're doing a bunch of things that's where it just sucks your life force, make a list. Make a list of things you do that give you life force and things that you do that don't give you life force. I assume you know what that means. You can just feel it. You're in a situation and it kind of uplifts you versus the opposite. Stop doing the things that bring you down. Although, because you're losing your spiritual power to do this, you can say, discipline that I'm sharing, which is, how do I connect with the source? How do I be open to hearing the downloads? You can't get the downloads if there's no capacity to receive the downloads. You need life force in order to get the downloads. And sexual energy, the ojas, is a huge conducive spiritual container for getting the downloads. That's why I'm saying, like, don't lose your sexual energy, and don't hang out with people and in environments that suck your energy. That's what I'm trying to say. Also, you can go to satsangs, go to 12-step programs if you feel, if you need help, with a certain addiction. Go to churches if you like a certain church, a more open church, unity church, I don't know, Vedanta church. If you're in California, you can go to SRF temples, Course in Miracles. These are all good. I went to those things like all the time in my 20s, because it helps keep the vibration up, But this practice I'm sharing, see, I don't have a technique, as a lot of you know, and some keep asking me, like, what's the technique? I don't have a certain meditation technique, because it's all good. That's why I say keep your attention on God. However form that takes, whether it's through meditation or bhakti or worship or prayer or japa or mantra or all the above, do it. That's all that matters, is that you find a way, you find your way to connect with the source. And you do it as often as you can do it. You do it if you're in the middle of a street fight. Or do it if you're arguing with your girlfriend or boyfriend. You somehow check in and recognize this presence. That's more powerful than if you just do a normal, like 1 hour in the morning, 1 hour in the evening meditation, but the rest of your day you're in your mind. So this is my practice. If you want to know what a practice is, although I don't consider it a practice, it's automatic. Something's always checking in as often as I can to recognize that, whoa, this is this whole thing, the woods and this body and this mouth that's speaking, this is like a virtual reality show, man. Because I can sense there's something here that's formless in which this whole show is happening in. It's like if you go to a circus, you're in the stadium. Stadium's not the circus. Circus is the circus. It's the same thing. Our true self is like the stadium that this virtual reality program is housed in. You need to be aware of your cosmic stadium. Yeah, I'll leave you with that. So this is what we're going to start. I want to really focus on on this in our satsang groups. Then I have energy, like, okay, good, let's see. And then we check and see, where are you at? How are you struggling with this practice is what we want to see. Not how are you struggling, like, oh, my relationship broke up, I don't have any money. Yeah, that stuff changes, man. You'll get money, and then maybe you'll lose money, and then you'll get money, and you'll get into a relationship, and you'll lose it, and then you'll get another one. That stuff's always fluctuating. We don't want to focus so much on that. We want to focus on the core. Yeah, what's the core? That's what we're going to talk about. I'll see you. You see, if you're alone, it's because God prescribed this situation to you. You can't do nothing about it. You might as well surrender to it and accept it. But then the mind will say, well, yeah, but look at those people. They seem to really be enjoying themselves, and they have camaraderie, and they go out and they say hi to people. Hi. I think I need to go to a therapist. You go to the therapist, and she gives you some course techniques. She says, okay, now look, I want you to go talk to 2 new people every day. You just say hello, and you introduce yourself, and say all this stuff, right? When somebody's alone, this is like the fast track. This is fast track to purification and spiritual evolution. Why? Because no distractions. These people that are just busy workaholics, they say, I don't do any drugs, I don't have any addictions. You're like, because the work addiction's the biggest addiction. That's like taking over your whole life. You can't do any other addictions. How are you going to have any other addictions? People are addicted to being busy, especially in the West. When you're alone, though, just not having people in your life, except for those who just naturally are in your life, again, don't try to manage this. Okay, I'm going to be alone. No, you be where you're at. That's all you can do anyway. Those of you who aren't alone, it's because God made that situation for you too. I'm not like a proponent of being alone or a proponent of being with people or in a relationship or married or not married, or like, it's not my business. It's God's business. Whatever situation you find yourself in, this is what the situation you're supposed to be in. And somebody say, no, I'm not. Okay, well, then maybe the play is for you to figure out how to get out of that situation without obsessing about it. Accept the situation, at the same time, be intuitive about how to get out of it. You can't do nothing else. Like we're here. Like, what are you gonna do? We're in this realm, in this body. You can't escape it. So there has to be a certain level of acceptance. But if you're naturally, organically alone, you don't have a bunch of people in your life, they're not calling you, man, that removes so much distraction from your life. Your ability, I'm talking about how it was for me, your ability in time to do introspection and to start looking at things that this identity that's inside, that's keeping you asleep, that stuff starts to come up. Because if you're not distracting yourself, okay, don't go on the damn internet though, I forgot, you see? That's how that's how the negative forces, that's the loophole. Right. Before we didn't have that, and then you just be alone, and then what I'm sharing, then it's really possible. But now I forgot. Right. You have the internet. That can be worse than running around crazy outside like everybody else. Yeah. What to do? I don't know. You just try to. I'll just keep talking. So let's assume that you check that, the internet. Don't do that. You do that if there's a reason to do it. I go on it because of my business. If I didn't have this, I guarantee you, I don't want to be on it. It hurts my eyes. Like, I don't want to be on that damn thing. I have a book that I need to go through because the life force wants me to. It won't leave me alone. I know how that works. If the life force wants you to do something, you got to do it. That's why I started making videos 2.5 years ago. This is my second channel. The first channel I made was Beyond the Alchemy, and we talk about preserving your sexual energy. Now I made 2 more channels, but those I can't, it's too much. So the life force, like it runs the show. I don't remember, I was talking about the life force made videos, and then it made me do something else. What else did it, well, it makes you do everything, but like, what was I talking about? Okay, let's come back to the point, right? It's always safe to default back to the point. If you're alone and you don't become a computer addict, the level of introspection that you can do. My Indian friend told me once, some years ago, because he was talking about something, he was doing something, and we're very comfortable with each other. So I can tell him, like, look, man, this is but you're saying you're doing it for this reason, but look, I can see what your motives are. See, that's cool if you have a relationship like that. Wouldn't that be cool if a husband and wife could do that? Then maybe I'd get married. I don't know. But I'm just saying, that's super rare. So I would do that with him, and I said, but why can't you just see it, man? It's just obvious. Like, why can't you see it? And then we were talking more, and he said, look, man, you've been alone, man, for all these years, meaning you haven't lived with people, and your relationships have been less. And he says, you have all this time to contemplate, and to look, and to check, and all this. He says, man, you see my life. I'm a travel agent, and I was working, and I had to manage all this stuff, and my brother's always bitching at me, and my mom and dad want me to go here and do this, and then I'm an edging sex addict on top of that, and I was just like, how am I gonna, what do you expect? And I realized, I'm like, yeah, he has a point. And so you honor this time and appreciate this time and give thanks for this time if you can. A lot of people are alone and they're resentful. They don't want to be alone. And then maybe they become alcoholics and addicts and computer addicts and sex addicts and porn addicts and blah, blah, blah. But that's the other thing when you're alone. All your addictions or habits or things that you do that block you, all that starts to come up. You can't, there's no distractions. Like I said, assuming you're not a computer addict. So you're on the fast track. You might can work through karma and have clarity in a decade or so compared to maybe somebody else who's just always super busy. Might take them, 5 lifetimes. This whole planet and purpose for being here is to delete conditioning and to reawaken to our true nature. So it's a very auspicious boon that God gave you if you're alone. It's also auspicious if God organically gave you a situation. Maybe you have a great family, it's all auspicious, but it's just the title. I just feel I have to stick these disclaimers in. Otherwise people, they misinterpret things. Even I put the disclaimers in, they're still going to misinterpret, but what to do? The topic is about, it's more tailor-made for those who find themselves alone and maybe don't understand why and feel like they're missing out. So I'm talking more to that group, and I'm trying to say that there's no accidents, but people don't want to look at themselves. This is the thing. This is what I noticed. This is why like I kind of liked plant medicine, because I could talk about these things and there would be enough space and humility in them, because the plant medicine gave it to them, to where we could have these deep discussions. Whereas normally if I had this conversation with them, they'd just get offended and run off. You know? So that's the other thing. When this stuff starts to come up, you have to pray for the humility to like not get so offended. I've never had that problem where I like didn't want to look at something because, oh, I feel bad now because I'm doing this, so I'm going to pretend like I'm not doing it, and I'm going to get away from this person or catalyst that's making me see. No, it's like, okay, yeah, like I'm doing it. Okay, I like it. I'm going to keep doing it. Or, yeah, this is something I know. It's pretty strong stuff. I'm trying to get rid of it. Whatever. Be willing to look at this stuff. And the other thing is, here's the other thing. This is why I like balance. We're talking practical. What I'm sharing now, this more practical level. The introspection, the stuff coming up, the looking at it, that's practical level. Both are necessary. You can't bypass that. The other level is spiritual level. Now, what I mean by spiritual level is it's about vibration. It's about being in the company or environment or something. Church, center, satsang. I don't know when this video is coming up. I think we just had our satsang, but I'm trying to do one once a month. Be in something like that, because that energy in a satsang environment or spiritual environment, or if you're at the right church, Unity Church or Church of Religious, some kind of non-dogmatic church, unless you like dogmatic churches, that's cool too. You want to be somewhere where the frequency is higher level. You're absorbing that. This is the real transformative agent to wake somebody up. That. It's not techniques. Techniques aren't going to do it. It's about allowing this shift inside to happen, which only grace can do. But I've discovered, this is the purpose for ashrams and satsangs, etc., is when we're in a higher environment, good luck finding one, but there are out there somewhere. If we're in a higher level environment, the vibrations in that environment are more conducive for allowing this shift that wants to come through. So that's important. You can't just stay at home. And in 12-step meetings also, go to 12, they have them for everything. If you're addicted to coffee, they got Caffeine Anonymous. Addicted to weed, they got Marijuana Anonymous. Addicted to sex and all that, Sex Porn Addicts Anonymous. They're a great tool for millions of people. If it's not for you, okay, but you need something. If you're just with your mind all the time, yeah, it's just, I don't think it's gonna work. I needed both. I was doing this constant introspection all the time, but I was also I would find something. My friend used to see me in LA. I was running down the sidewalk all the time, every time he seen me. This is where you going to another class? Yeah. Just hitting the classes, Vedanta classes and SRF classes. I just wanted to be or churches, Church of Religious Science, something. Even I didn't really like. I didn't care. I needed to be somewhere because intuitively I knew it was breaking this self-obsession. I needed the vibrations to help get me out of that. Meetings. I used to go to a lot of meetings in LA. They're funny. Yeah, LA is a bit crazy. You see? So do both. You do your introspection and you get the higher vibrations, let intuition tell you how to do that and go about that. Don't just sit home and look at this computer. Man, this technology, I gotta make another video. It's destroying people, man. It is destroying people and brain damage. I mean, like seriously, like it destroys you year after year after year, and just absorbed into this thing, man. I'm gonna make a separate video on that. All right, I'll see you guys.
energy, so let's see. Dark in here. Let's mark reactivity. We need 280. It's one down over. Okay. Well, I'm retired. So, bye. See if I can. No. Let's wait until it's 1 hour. Okay, bye.